Sorry about that, guys. So yes, guys, welcome to Wednesday night, and it is the one and only and BTC guru and BTCC expert. That is right, the one and only and legendary hoppers in the commentary box for the Eldar Chell Lawman Motorsport British Touring Car Championship. Tonight we have the penultimate round of the championship here at Autopolis in Japan. I cannot wait to see how well it's going to shape up, because this series has been by far one of the closest and probably one of the most interesting series ever out there, and it seems to be quite a lot of interest. Evening Malk, thank you, hope you're okay my friend, hope things are going well. Nice to see you on the stream my friend. But yes, the British Touring Cars are here at Autopolis. Obviously they don't race in Autopolis in real life, but there is going to be some very different variations. We'll go through who's in which car and who's driving what, a bit of background as well. And you know, it's going to be far by close times for this evening. Obviously there's the weight to consider, the success ballast. There is also quite a lot of certain bits and pieces, and who knows exactly what is going to happen for this evening. I'm not too bad, mate. I'm absolutely hyped for this evening, which, you know, it's Wednesday, it's British Touring Cars, what more do you want? But yes, it is going to be fantastic. I can't wait to see how well certain things go, especially with the weight for certain cars and certain drivers. You know, the success ballast seems to be hampering the guys at the sharp end, like, you know, when they're on 110% maximum ballast. It seems that it's spiced up a lot of things over the last couple of rounds or so, and that's exactly what we want. We want it to spice up the action, and anything can happen personally, and it seems very complex to explain certain ways, but if you're a BTCC guru or an expert such as myself, you know how the weight variations in the real championship. Now for an online championship, you know, I'll go through exactly who's in what car and what weight they are on in a second or two. I'll just grab a quick drink. It is warm, so I'm going to have to keep plenty of hydration, but it is going to be very close this evening. So we'll go through exactly the cars and the weight. Some people just dive into pit lane as such, but that does not really matter. So at the moment then, we have Gareth Morris in the LDA 4, currently on 110%. He's not in the lobby yet, but he's on 110% weight. That is the maximum weight advantage that you can have. The 110% seems to hurt the guys that are currently, because obviously it's in championship order, so you gain weight if you leave the championship as such. And you know, there's certain things. Yeah, I will do, mate. I will give you quite a lot of I'll give you an update very shortly on what's been going on, and you know exactly what's been ongoing throughout the championship. So obviously at the moment Gareth Morris leads the way in the championship, so he has 110%. Adam Morgan, no, it's not British Touring Car Store. Adam Morgan, you may think it is, but it's not. It's the Welsh namesake. People think when you hear Adam, we say Adam Morgan, have we got the proper touring car driver taking part? But unfortunately, no, we don't. It is the Welsh namesake, so he's on 108%. Scott Dalby, who's currently here in the Matt Neal Team Dynamics Nissan Primera. Yes, you may notice they're all Mazda Atenza GR3 cars, but because it is a British Touring Car Championship, we call them by the manufacturer that has been raced. So Scott Dalby's on 106%. Scott seems to be adapting very well. He's had a bit of a nightmare last week at Blue Moon, where he was telling me he had a bit of issues. From what I heard him tell me today, actually, that he had a bit of I think there's a bit of an issue with his own setup, which seems to be pushed that Primera down the field, and he didn't do really well. But, you know, anything can happen. You've got Darren Baldwin in the Honda Accord. That's the works Honda from 98. You'll see that out on track in a round. He's actually on 104% weight, so he's thereabouts. He's fourth in the championship, because obviously when Nick stood in for him for 2 rounds, it kind of pushed him that up, and he's done very well to get where he is, to be fourth in the championship. Chris Wheatley in the DC Cup. No, he's not. He's in Rocket Cargo Honda Accord. I do apologise. Way ahead of myself there. He's on 102. Andy White sadly isn't going to be taking part for the rest of the season. He's got personal issues ongoing at the moment, so we wish him all the best, and hopefully he's back for next season. So Noah Wright, that is taking over Andy White's Toyota Carina from 95, 96 independent livery, currently on screen. So Noah will be on 101%, which kind of makes it a bit more equal. Nate Fletch is missing this evening with work commitments. The Renault Laguna, the Works Laguna, seems to be interesting to see, but if he was here, he would be on 100%. Lee Fitzy, however, in the Rapid Fit Ford Mondeo, he is on 100%. Same with Nate Fletch. If Nate Fletch was here, the Rapid Fit Mondeo from 99-2000 livery seems to be going awfully slowly out the back of the circuit at the moment, going down the hill. So yeah, see how well he does this evening. Then you've got Panos Forganis, the Greek in the DC Cup Laguna, the independent run from 98, the Tommy Rustad Laguna, ex-Jason Plato chassis in real life. Seems to be a very quick runner. The ex-Plato chassis from 97 is when it was. So he's on 100. Hopefully he'll be up at the sharp end now, because he's lost all that weight from dropping down the table. Didn't really have a good time at Blue Moon from what we've seen. Then we have Dean Atkinson in the Works Nissan Primera on 100% as well. Then you've got Daniel Pays, or Damien Black, whatever you want to name him as, in the Motorsport Cavalier liveried, on 99. Craig Thomas in the Peugeot 406, the green and gold machine from 97-98. He's on 98%, ironically. Then you've got Pokovic in the Alfa Romeo on 97. Brian Moncani in the BMW GoldenEye V-Nut Oils from 95 livery on 96, and then Bogdanovic in the Masterfit Vetra on 95. But yes, a bit of brief background about the British Touring Cars, what's been happening with the championship, and how we got to this stage. Well, if you've missed the action, you need to go back and check, because it has been a stellar season so far. Seeing the likes of, obviously, Panos take a win. We've also seen quite a few argy-bargy moments at, like, Largo. You know, there was contact between Andy White and Craig Thomas in the first race that ultimately was a move that wasn't going to happen. And then obviously Andy White took a couple of race victories along the way in the feature race. And, you know, it seems Craig Thomas also took the feature race at Largo by plotting that pit stop to perfection in that Peugeot 406, and it just seemed to be quite a lot of race winners throughout the season. And obviously I'll go through the points as well, because we do have the point here, which seems to be a very quiet and probably close proximity battles. Just having scrolling back up to get the points for this evening, so we'll go through exactly the points. So just give me 1 second. So Gareth Morris, as I say, he leads the way. He actually had pole position in race number 1 at Brands Hatch on the Grand Prix loop for the opening round. and ultimately went backwards for the sprint race, but then he still managed to finish in 8th place for the sprint race, so ultimately pole position, but then he finished 8th. I don't know whether it was due to the weight in the LDA4, but then he got the feature race victory, so he kind of worked his way back up to get the feature race victory, so he got 35 points out of that. And then obviously, you know, it seemed to be quite of a variation, should we say, for Gareth, because, you know, he seemed to be equaling his best. It seemed at the time, though, from what we're seeing, the likes of Craig Thomas, obviously, you know, he got a victory at Largo in the feature race. He's down in 12th in the table, the Peugeot 406 driver at the moment, just picking up the race winners at the moment. However, you know, it seemed Andy White got the feature race win at Sardegna, which seemed to be very close and proximity to racing. You know, there was quite a lot of argy-bargy through some of the races as well, and it seemed to be pushing on quite a bit for what's going to happen. Obviously, key talking point though is the tyres, because in qualifying and the sprint race, yes, we have a sprint race which is 11 laps this evening. It looked like, looking at Pokovic, used mediums which wasn't allowed to be used. I don't know whether that was an issue or whether that was just gone unnoticed, but he got disqualified from the sprint race at Brands Hatch to start with. But obviously now during qualification and the sprint race, you only allowed to use the racing super softs, no racing mediums at all. That is purely because, you know, it's a sprint race and it is not the feature race where you take a pit stop and change to mediums or super softs, however you decide to do it. So, you know, it's quite an eye-opener for exactly some of the bizarre occasions that have happened. But, you know, it's getting very close at the how can I put it? It's variations to different things for the likes of strategy, because the feature race is more important for getting the strategy dead on, because if you don't, there'll be a lot of issues for obviously a lot of bits and pieces. You know, to get your super softs up to temperature, you know, you're going to have to do quite some time. It does seem the super softs tend to wear probably a bit more than the mediums. Sometimes it depends on circuit variation, but it seems to be like we're going to be in course for what looks like a very interesting battle. It's between obviously two Welshmen, between obviously looking at the championship, it's actually between the top three. Just looking at it by now, you know, you've got Gareth Morris on 137 points, and then you've got Adam Morgan, obviously not touring car star, but the Welsh namesake, on 123, and then Scott Dalby on 118, and then obviously Darren on 116 points. So it could be between anyone who does very well. It looks like the table looks like mathematically Gareth Morris could sew up the title this evening or next week. It variations because of the obviously the weight, the carry. So, you know, there's a lot of interest within that half of the table. The bottom half of the table, however, are now unreachable, so they're not going to be able to climb up unless they win the feature race and get a fast lap and get the fastest lap, and obviously get a point for pole position. So ideally that's what you want to do. You want to get maximum points, so you want to get the 20 points in race number 1, so the sprint race. So if you win the sprint race, you get 20 points, and then if you win the feature, you get 35, and then if you lead the race in either of them, you get a point, and then you get a fastest lap point as well. So obviously if you set the fastest lap you get a point, but the only downside with the fastest lap is people are gunning for that fastest lap point. So basically you need to do the trifecta and you need to get maximum points to try and extend that advantage. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting night of racing, I'm sure it will be. I'm really looking forward to seeing how well things go for this evening. Personally, because of me being a touring car fan in real life, it makes it a lot easier for me to have a look at exactly what's going on. So I'm just going to have a look and make sure everyone's on the correct weight who's just joined, and we'll see exactly what is going to happen for this evening. So it looks like everyone is almost in their correct weight, so I'll have a look, see if it's matched up to what I have on my records here. Just give me 1 second, guys. Just need to get that back up and running. Let's have a look. So Adam Morgan isn't in the lobby yet. Yeah, it looks all correct so far. There we go. Do apologise about that, chaps and ladies. Do apologise. But yes, it is going to be a good night of racing. Personally, I cannot wait to see how well things are going to go. It seems, according to certain pace setters looking at certain cars like the 406, the Toyota Carina, the Ford Mondeo, the Nissan Primera, and of course the Alfa, followed by the Renault Laguna, it seems there's a lot of people looking for quite some amazing action tonight, and I'll tell you what, you don't want to miss it, because it is going to be absolutely on course for a very good night of racing. I do apologise, I was going to sneeze and that's why I took my headset off. But never mind. We'll see exactly what is going to go on for this evening. Looking at obviously Pokovic in the Alfa, seems to be pushing quite a lot. He's got himself caught up in a few scrapes and battles this season where the Alfa seems to be trying to reach that potential for his own style. So he seems to be very good, the Serbian driver, as he drifts through halfway down the hill by the looks of it. But there's a few guys out and about, so there's a couple of guys just sat in pit lane for the time being. So what do I reckon for tonight? Personally, I reckon the likes of obviously Gareth Morris, I'm not going to jinx him and put commentator's curse on him, but I think the Audi's going to struggle with that weight. But you know, it's going to be very interesting to see how well he jumps into race number one, the sprint race, and qualifying to try and get that pole position for the sprint race. We do have a reverse grid for whoever finishes last in the sprint race. It starts on pole position for the feature race, so the 22 lap feature race, where they will be taking pit stops and they will be pushing on quite a bit for some quite very quick strategies as well. I'm interested to find out how well people are going to do, but it's going to be thereabouts, and probably chucking a lot of effort into pushing on for quite some time. So just looking at Lee Fitzy going through the latter half of the lap here, going towards the hairpin here. Don't normally go right now because we're on the longer loop, so we're on the as he gets a bit loose in the Ford Mondeo there out of the hairpin. Maybe it's one of them, but we'll see how well he does. He's got probably a fresh bit of super softs on. So a bit of history regarding these cars then, and I'll give you a bit of facts and opinions about what I think. So DC Cook Renault Laguna was raced by Tommy Rustad in '98 for the Independence Championship. As I say, it was an ex-Jason Plato chassis from '97 in the touring cars, and it seemed to be a car that was going to be dominating the Independence, because obviously guys like Matt Neal in the Dynamics Primera, he had a bit of bad luck in '98, which kind of then introduced pit stops for the races to give more excitement for the fans, as well as more strategic strategies for the teams. Then came Success Ballast, then came in 2000. It wasn't run from the previous years, but it came in 2000 for adding 40 kilos, if you will, for winning a race in the championship. And then I think it was like 30 for second, and then obviously 20 for third. And I think, and then obviously from that, certain cars in the championship were carrying ballast throughout that season. It chopped and changed quite a bit as well, because of obviously if you had to carry ballast into the next meeting, so you had to carry the 40 kilos. Didn't really matter if you're championship winner, you had to carry that 40 kilos into that race. So it kind of explains why we give Morris 110% in the Audi A4, and you think, well, that's a bit unfair, but he's won a race, but he's also championship leader. Championship leader always has to carry Success Ballast, has to carry maximum ballast. These days in British touring cars it's 75 kilos, which seems to be very heavy, and seems to be a lot of predicaments within. Do we think it's enough for the cars? Do we think it should be less? Do we think it should be more? But you know, gives you an idea exactly how Success Ballast works. It can work to your advantage. Obviously the lighter cars tonight, like the ones down the bottom half of the table, they will be more lighter and probably more powerful to jump in. So, you know, certain cars will push on, and Lee Fitzy gets it spinning around into that hairpin. It's got the end of that. But it seems to be very evenly matched. If you obviously get 110% in this championship, it can haunt you. It can literally make your race a bit of a, not a disaster, but it can sort of fluctuate between trying to push your way up to the start of the field. You know, your start could be a bit wheel spin off the line, but it's very close proximity racing regardless of whatever weight these guys carry. It seems to be very close indeed. So, you know, like I say, Pokovic in the Alfa Romeo, I believe that is from 94, 90, it's not the 95 livery, I think it's kind of, it's the 94 livery that Gabriele Tarquini and Giampiero Simoni raced in 94 in British touring cars. If you remember, in 94 Alfa had brought a rear wing and a front splitter that was definitely out of the regulations. They said, well, you know, if we get told to get rid of these, we'll obviously no longer race in the championship for basically, I think it was the race at Alton Park, if I remember rightly. Alan Gall, series organiser, said to Alfa, right, if you come with these regulations, you've broken basically. And they said, right, well, we'll go then, we won't take part. So they didn't take part in there, but however, Gabriele Tarquini still managed to win the 94 British Touring Car Championship for Alfa Romeo. And then obviously since 95 they came with front splitters and whacking great rear wings. So, you know, it seems to be quite a lot of animosity between the championship when it changed regulations. Obviously the Audi A4, just a bit of a fact about that, 96 was its debut, and 96, 97 it was four-wheel drive, which it was able to do very well in the wet and also get a very demon start, driven by Frank Bieler and of course John Bincliffe. But for 98 they changed the regulations, and Audi said, right, well, we're gonna have to think of a way to get our car into the championship and get it eligible for the regulations for 98, which was Audi's last season, full season British Touring Cars. It was driven by Jovan Muller over in Germany, two-wheel drive format. It seemed to work very well over there, and then they recruited him for 98 and had John Bincliffe. Obviously Audi weren't really performed very well with the two-wheel drive format in 98. It was kind of a bit of a weird season, if you will, for them, and then they left the championship, but they managed to win the championship in 96 with Frank Bieler at the wheel of the four-wheel drive Quattro, the A4 Quattro. Beautiful car, I must admit. So that is the Audi. Team Dynamics, most people will know this team from British Touring Cars. Guys like Matt Neal, of course. Yes, Matt Neal, that is right. Over 6 foot tall is Matt Neal. Struggles fitting a touring car, but stalwart for his Nissan Primera during the 90s. Famously won at Donington Park in the feature race in 99 at the opening round of the championship. Beat a young James Thompson and a young Jason Plato to the top step to become the first independent winner of the championship. But however, in the case here, we've got Scott Dalby racing for Team Dynamics. Very nice looking livery, I must say. The number 33, Max Verstappen number, is his favourite number. So we've got, I'll tell you a bit more about certain cars when they go out onto track. So you got Lee Fitzy in the Rapid Fit Ford Mondeo, 2000. Just give me a second, so let's read something. Let's see what happens. Give me a sec, just reading something. Yeah, so as I was saying, the Ford Mondeo, the 99 and 2000 livery. Swiss driver Alain Menu, so 97 champion Alain Menu, and obviously Anthony Reid took the Ford Mondeo over from the late Will Hoy, and of course Craig Baird from 98 rather, which seems to be a very interesting car. It only won one race that season in 99, and then however in 2000 when he introduced the success ballast, Alain Menu won his second title. So you know, the Fords were dominant in 2000 in BTCC, so it's kind of very interesting to see how well, you know, it does obviously in our own championship. Obviously Pokovic has just hit the barrier, so he's up to go back into pit lane. Adam Morgan then, obviously not touring car start, just to remember that, in the Arena Motorsport Renault Laguna. This was actually raced by Russell Spence and of course Will Hoy in 99. I remember the day before going to my first ever touring car event. Evening Darren, no rush mate, no rush, take your time, pal. But yes, as I was saying, Russell Spence had an almighty shunt at Alton Park at Lodge Corner during qualifying for that meeting that I ended up ultimately attending on the bank holiday Monday, and he somehow managed to go across the grass. I don't know whether it's brake failure or something, but he managed to go across the grass. Next minute he launched his car right over the barrier. That could have been a lot nastier if the spectators were there luckily the marshals and Russell Spence himself got away unhurt. But then obviously after Croft, I think the budget finally ran out, or they decided, well, you've had a bit of an up and down season, maybe, you know, we need to get someone in who can race the socks off the Laguna. So they drafted in Will Hoy for Snetterton onwards, which was the first time a night race was ever used in BTCC. So, you know, it seemed that Will Hoy was adapting well with the Laguna. Sadly, we never saw it yet again in 2000 as Renault departed the British Touring Cars. So, you know, it was quite a lot of interest to see what happens with that. Craig Thomas, however, in the Peugeot 406, the SO Ultra on the gold and green machine, the famous gold and green, absolute stunning livery. I was so disappointed I didn't see this in its heyday racing. Driven by Tim Harvey and Patrick Watts in 96 originally in the total colours, so the red and white colours in 96, but then they changed to gold and green for 97 and 98. Retained Tim Harvey 92, champion Tim Harvey, and then Patrick Watts for 97. And then obviously Patrick Watts went on to do different things in 98, so they drafted in New Zealander Paul Rodisic, double World Cup winner of the Super Touring, ex-Ford driver from 97 into Peugeot. Peugeot were kind of undeveloped. The car was less powerful than the likes of the Audi and of course the Vauxhall and of course Volvo and of course Honda, just to name a few manufacturers. But it surprised a few people. It got a few podiums in 97 with Tim Harvey, and then 98 it got 4th place at Silverstone in the feature race at round number 4 with Paul Rodisic at the wheel. So, you know, Peugeot's last hurrah in Super Touring was obviously 98, and believe it or not, there is, I believe Patrick Watts still has one, and he races that historically now and again, I believe. So that is quite a bit of a fact about that. We've got Daniel Pays in the Mint Motorsport Cavalier. Richard Kay driven this in 96, and then I believe Jamie Wall took over in 97. Obviously, you know, very different kettle of fish to running the Vetras, if you will, in the UK. Obviously, I know abroad, like in Europe, it's known as a Vetra. The Cavalier is known as a Cavalier, but it was the Vetra it's known as a Cavalier in UK. Over Europe, it's known as a Vetra. That's what I was trying to say. But it seems to be quite a lot of interest having an ex-works car. I can't remember exactly who was running the ex-works car because it was where it was run from, but it seemed to be very adaptable. But yeah, it was kind of very interesting to see exactly the likes of Richard Kay taking the wheel, and then obviously Jamie Wall in 97. I believe that's when it was last used for that. We'll see exactly what is going to happen for that. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. Darren was actually out on track there. So we got Darren Baldwin in the James Thompson Peacock's liveried from 98. The Honda was kind of a very successful car in 98. Obviously with James Thompson, he took a couple of race wins, a couple of podiums there and then. Ultimately didn't win the championship, finished 3rd in the standings, been beaten by Anthony Reid and of course then Sweden's Rickard Rydell in the Volvo. So, you know, the Honda was a very quick car, a very powerful car itself, and then it got replaced by the newer shape for 99. James Thompson, Dutchman Peter Cox won the championship, but won a few races in '99. James Thompson ultimately won the first race of the championship at Donington, and then Peter Cox won the feature race at the night race at Snetterton in '99. So a bit about that. You got Noah Wright in the Toyota Carina, driven by Lee Brooks in '96 as an independent. The Toyota Carina was a works car in '95. However, Toyota didn't have the budget to become a works team in '96, so it went independent, and it seemed to be very adaptable. With Lee Brooks, I think he won a few independent titles thereabouts. Well, independent races, should I say, not titles, but was on course to win the. I think he was nearly on course to win the '97 independent championship. If my memory serves me correctly. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, so let's have a look. Yeah, so Lee Brooks entered the touring cars in. I think he was part of the that battle, should I say? I'll just try to find out who exactly won the independent title in '97, just to jog my memory. Yeah, so Lee Brooks had won the independent title in '96 in the Toyota Carina, and then he swapped to a Peugeot, which kind of jumped into an uncertainty for Lee Brooks, because he wrote the car actually got wrote off at Silverstone at the finale in '97, and someone was going to buy the car as well. So it was a bit of a shame for Lee Brooks in the independent class that season. But yeah, it's going to be very close this evening. So you've got obviously, I think Dean Atkinson's joined in the Nissan Primera, the 98-99 liveries Nissan Primera, so he's going to be very. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen. So it's very interesting proximity. So we'll see who else is out on track, just to go through a bit of facts. So I think Pokovic, no idea what he was doing. I think he was trying to practice his start by the looks of it. So you got Dean Atkinson, however, just to jump into that camera if I can. There he is. He's coming out pit lane in the 98-99 liveries Nissan Primera, the Works Primera, that had been driven by David Leslie and Anthony Reid in 97-98, but however this livery was a 98 and 99 livery. David Leslie, the late David Leslie, finished second in 99 to Frenchman Aiello. Aiello, however, won 99 title. That was the last hurrah that we saw of him. He only came and won the championship and then disappeared off into going back to, I believe, Germany to go and race in DTM, and however go and race for Audi and Lawman. So, you know, it's kind of a very interesting factor with Nissan. They then had the last hurrah of Super Touring. They didn't return as a manufacturer in 2000. They literally were independent with Matt Neal and a guy called Colin Blair at the time. Colin Blair was obviously in a different team to Matt Neal, running a Primera, the brand new specification Primera for 2000. However, to no avail, decided to part ways with Colin at Pro Motorsport, and David Leslie took the reins of that Primera for the rest of the season, if you will. And yeah, it was kind of a shame that Nissan didn't come back as a manufacturer in 2000. In 2000, however, they had obviously success ballast, and they had three cars for Vauxhall, Honda, and of course Ford. So at Ford you had Sweden's Rickard Rydell, Anthony Reid, Scotsman obviously, and Alan Menu. Then at Vauxhall you had Jason Plato, who was an ex-Renault driver. Jovan Muller got retained, and Belgian Vincent Rademacher, who was an ex-Volvo driver in '99. And then at Honda you had James Thompson, had a bit of a nasty shunt at Brands Hatch at the opening rounds of the championship, and he got replaced by Peter Cox and David Leslie at Donington and Thruxton, and then returned for the rest of the season. Then you had Gabriele Tarquini come back from racing in Germany for quite a few seasons, and then jumped back into race full time in 2000. That was his last season, however. And then they had Danish 7-time Le Mans 24-hour race winner Tom Christensen. So it's kind of very interesting to see how well that will go. I'm just going to make sure we've got everyone's on the correct weight. I believe Brian Moncani is running a bit behind. Excuse me. So I believe they're all on the correct weight. There we go. So yeah, it's kind of really interesting bit of facts as well, so I do know my stuff. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen tonight's racing. It's going to be very close in qualification. I'm hoping the likes of Scott Dalby and of course none other than Panos to try and escape up the front and try and see what they're going to do for qualifying very soon. But we do have quite a few 10 cars on the grid at the moment, so it's looking likely it's going to be a very interesting Super Touring race, just to be quite honest with you. So, you know, whatever happens tonight, it is going to be fantastic. I can't wait, because I've been waiting all day for this, as I do on a Wednesday. So it's going to be very close between the bottom half of the table that are on lower weight. It seems they're going to be probably a bit to an advantage and trying to push all the way as such. So Brian Moncani's just made it into the lobby, so that's very good timing. So the Belgian seems to really enjoy his racing, does Brian, so it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen this evening for him. So Darren's just going to change the tyres very shortly, so everyone just runs on super softs for the sprint race as well as the elusive 10-minute qualification. I forgot to mention 10 minutes of qualification, but there we go. So you've got 10 minutes of qualifying, then you've got 11 laps sprint race, and then 22 laps of the feature race, which is the all-important pit stop race, where your strategy will be at least, I think it's 15 minutes minimum on the mediums or super softs. You've got to change between there and then. Obviously, if you don't, there's implications. Penalties, however, if they get a penalty, they have to take it in the 3 penalty zones. I can't remember roughly whereabouts they are here, but they must take it on the lap they get it. So that is quite astounding. Obviously, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. It is the penultimate round of the championship. It is going to be, even though Darren's got like round number 3, Sardegna, I think he kind of forgot to change it, but never mind, we'll let him off with that one. Oh dear. Pokovic has got an error by the looks of it, the Alfa Romeo driver. So we'll see exactly what is going to happen this evening. So Moz has had an error as well by the sounds of it. Speaking of Pokovic, he's just commented, "Evening mate, how's it going?" Sounds a few people have had a few errors at the moment. I believe GT Sport is actually updating tomorrow, so it's probably why they're in the process of probably getting that ready for tomorrow. What was I going to do? So yes, it is going to be a very much interesting fight to see how well the drivers go for this evening. So we'll see exactly how well the drivers go for certain bits and pieces of the championship. It seems you know, the likes of Gareth Morris may struggle in that Audi A4 for the weight. He's on maximum weight. I'll double check that certain things do get mentioned, etc. And it's going to be very close to see how well things go for this evening. So yeah, just a bit about certain cars then. Obviously, you know, most people think about certain bits and pieces of just making sure everyone is on the correct weight, even though they've rejoined. Just to double check. So we'll see how well the drivers do. Just give you an idea of what weights they're running in kilograms, and exactly they're all running the same amount of power, but they have different variations of weight. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen. So obviously Panos and DC Laguna seems to be pushing on. He's setting the benchmark though with a 144.9. So I don't know if Bogdanovic is making it this evening, the other Serbian in the Masterfit Vetra. I don't know whether he's going to be making it, but we'll see if he does. So Gareth Morris in the Audi then seems to be pushing on. It seems not affecting him as much. So I think the quicker the cars, etc., or the more power's been, well, the more weight, should I say, has been put in, I think it kind of affects the way it goes, but doesn't seem to hamper in the Audi A4 at the moment, to be honest. So we'll see exactly how well things go. So we'll see exactly what's gonna happen. Scott Dalby in the team dynamics since on Primera done. We'll see what he can do. Currently with, I think he had the, he's got the hazards on, whether he's just knocked it by mistake. The drivers tend to do that, they tend to knock it by mistake, and I think it's some type of bit of a distraction saying certain bits and pieces, but when I say certain bits and pieces, it kind of has a bit of a probably a bit of body language between the pair of them. Daniel Black, or Damien Black, or should I say Daniel Pays. Do apologise, mate. I will get your name dead on when I literally get to commentate on you a bit more. In the Motorsport Cavalier then, seems to be pushing on with Panos there in first place then. However though, this guy's on top form, he goes fastest in practice with 144.8, so the Cavalier seems to be going a bit quicker. So it's going to be very close then. Like I say, it could be the guys at the bottom bottom half of the table with less weight on it may try and push quite a bit, but obviously it's going to be very close. Dean Atkinson in the Works Primera currently says by Scott's Team Dynamics, independent from Primera at the moment equally. So we'll see how well these guys go. Bogdanovic is not racing, he's waiting for the new router. Okay, right. So there's no Bogdanovic then. So Vlad's missing this evening. The Master Fit Vetra is not going to be on the grid for this evening. He's waiting for a new part, by the sounds of it, for that Vetra. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen for the sprint race qualifying in around 3 minutes time. So I'm going to stop and get some water, get my voice in check, be sure to get a drink, be sure to grab something to eat, nip to the bathroom if you need, because you don't want to miss the action tonight, guys. It is going to be fantastic and it is going to be sensational. I can't wait to see what is going to happen for rounds 9 and 10 of the Chell Lawman British Touring Car Championship from Eldar Racing. But guys, if you don't mind, please like and subscribe to Eldar Racing. We are near enough coming up to 190 subscribers. That is a lot. I was talking about that the other day in the Endurance League on Monday, with a year and 2 months of Eldar being run. You know, it's just astounding to see the stats, and it's crazy to think, you know, I've only been commentating probably for near enough that length of time, and it's a very unreal and very surreal situation. So we've got 2 minutes to go until qualifying does begin, so we'll see how well. He's having rust problems with the Opel. Okay. I see. An Opel's obviously Vauxhall over there, so, well, over here it's a Vauxhall, but yeah, seems like it, mate. But yeah, it's going to be fantastic. I can't wait to see how well things go tonight. It is going to be unstoppable action, because, you know, a lot of work has gone in for the championship. It seems, you know, certain drivers are going to be pushing on for hugely successful. Excuse me, didn't mean to do that down everyone's ear. So we'll see how well things go. So let's have a look. We are getting ready to go, I believe, for the qualifying session for the sprint race for round number 9 of the championship. I just better put my phone on charge. Well, I've got the stream up and running, so I can keep an eye on certain things with the stream. So yes, we're about to start qualifying then for the sprint race, the 11-lap sprint. So let's see who's going to be on pole position, and let's see who's going to be beneficial with the weight, who's going to be working to that degree. So it is counting down. We do have the green light at the end of the pit lane then to say, so it looks like, by the looks of it, a couple of guys are just leaving pit lane. So it looks like Craig Thomas in the Peugeot 406 seems to be leading them out for their out laps. I think just making sure everyone is going to be there. So Darren's going to be, I think he is the last one to leave, I believe. Yes, he is. He's the last one to leave in the Honda Accord. So, however, I'm going to sneeze in a second. So it looks like just as the timing screen decides to sort itself out at the moment. So then it's Craig Thomas in the Peugeot 406 lead them out on their out laps, followed by Lee Fitz's Ford Mondeo and Noah Wright's Toyota Carina. Obviously you've got Daniel in his trusty Vauxhall Cavalier, followed by Panos in the Laguna. Then you've got Scott Dalby in the Dynamics Run Primera, Adam Morgan in the Arena Motorsport Laguna, followed by Dean Atkinson's Works Primera, the Ray Mallock Motorsports, followed by Pokovic in the Alpha, and then Brian Moncani's BMW, followed by Darren's Honda, and then Gareth Morris's Audi A4. Seems to be a bit interesting with that 110% weight that he has to carry for leading the championship. So Craig Thomas then, however, just going through the latter half of the lap now, through the kink to start his first flying lap. Probably 1 or 2 laps around here depending on how quick they go. So it's going to be very close to see how well everyone gets on this evening. So at the moment then, Craig leading them away then. There'll be a lot of cars battling for getting most likely the toe off people. You can just see Matt Neal and Russell Spence, no, I mean Scott Dalby, and of course Adam Morgan, just to reiterate kind of almost how it was in 99 at Donington Park in the feature race. That is exactly how they got the independent podium, funny enough. But obviously Scott's going to be on a mission. Seems to be loving life in his racing at the moment, especially with certain ways, but hopefully his issues have been cured from Monday and he puts on a good show for the fans of the Team Dynamics Nissan Primera. Adam Morgan then in the Arena Motorsport Laguna, it seems. And there's a lot of cars now battling to get the toe off each other to try and get these laps in. So it does seem quite a bit. So with obviously 12 cars on the grid this evening, it seems to be very close to, for comfort, especially with 6 minutes and 45 seconds to go in qualifying. It seems they're going to get the toe. So looking at Gareth Morris, that weight is probably hurting him at the moment then in that Audi. Seems to be now trying to push on quite a bit. He's actually on the rev limiter. You can just see Lee Fitzey about to cross the line then to set the benchmark. He's got Craig Thomas right behind him, so Ford Mondeo goes into the 145.7. Noah with 145.2. Panos, however, 144.9. And Daniel with a 145.4. Pokovic with a 145.6 into fourth place for that Alpha. However, Darren goes second in that Honda with 145.2, so the Honda is on course for probably a decent starting position. Just under 6 minutes to go in qualifying then. Looks very equally spread out at the moment. So it goes Panos, Darren from Noah, from Daniel are your top four. Gareth Morris 155.3, so you can tell that weight is really starting to hurt and starting to hamper that Audi A4. Lee Fitzy then with that Ford Mondeo in 6th place at the moment then, 145.7. Brian Moncani's BMW 146.050. Gone purple sector there though, however, a bit down on his time though. 0.81 of the seconds. Scott Dalby with the hazard lights on again, maybe he's knocked them. 8th place for the Team Dynamics Primera at the moment, 146.074. Dean Atkinson goes spinning. Oh, he's gone into pit lane, whether he's had a bit of an issue, nearly clipped the barrier. So he's 9th at the moment. Adam Morgan in 10th place then. Peugeot 406 trying to push on, trying to get the toe off Lee Fitzy across the line. However, goes 10th then because we've knocked Adam Morgan down to 11th. So he goes 146.217. Adam Morgan though, however, still in 11th, 146.472. And Gareth Morris's Audi A4 at the tail of the field. That weight must be hampering him quite severely. So Brian Moncani 6th then in that BMW 145.683 of a second. A couple of guys changing tyres now with just 4 minutes to go. Round number 9 for the sprint race qualifying seems to be pushing on quite a lot. A couple of cars that have maybe stayed out on track and not swapped tyres, they'll probably gain a bit more advantage because the guys that have gone on the out laps, it will not count. But we'll see, because at the moment it's Panos from Darren, so they've gone into pit lane. But we'll see what Noah can do in that Toyota Carina, chasing Craig Thomas's Peugeot 406 at the moment then. Noah actually drove the 406 at Blue Moon last week, so different kettle of fish for the driver there in the 888 numbered Toyota Carina, taking over from Andy White for the remainder of the season. Craig gets that Peugeot crossed up. I think he just pushed a bit too hard there, so we'll see exactly what these guys are going to do. It looks like Noah's actually cleared them. Third, he's actually in his second touring car event, but third race of the third race, but we'll see how well he does. Goes into pit lane actually, so that's probably clipped the pit lane barrier as well. Excuse me. So it goes with Brian Moncani about to cross the line in that BMW. Goes up to second with 145.205. So that seems to be pushing Darren down to third. Then Darren's going to have to seriously get his skates on with just under 2.5 minutes to go till the checkered flag does fall in qualifying. So it does seem a lot of cars have decided to go into pit lane to get fresh pair of tyres on. With Daniel still in 5th place then, so it's Panos from Brian Moncani at the moment. BMW seems to be working very well at the moment. He's had a couple of race wins in the GR3 series on a Monday as Brian Moncani, so it'll be very interesting to see if he emulates that here tonight for the Chell Lawman Motorsport British Touring Cars. So we'll see exactly what's going on. So it's Panos from Brian Moncani at the moment then. Brian's still on that flyer. He's going to try and push on. He's got down 2/10 of a second in that sector. Maybe he's drifted. Oh, he's drifted that BMW. He's got a bit loose out of that corner there. You can just see the BMW just snapping away from him. But and Daniel's still in 5th place then. So it's Panos from Brian Moncani, from Darren, from Noah, followed by Daniel, followed by Pokovic, followed by Lee Fitzy, and of course Scott Dalby followed by Dean Atkinson, Craig Thomas, then Adam Morgan off in the gravel there. Not a good showing for the Arena Motorsport Laguna at the moment, and then Gareth Morris in that LDA4 seems to be suffering with the weight at the moment, but Brian Mulcahy, he will come through the latter half of the lap now. What is he going to do? Because is he going to improve his lap time, or is that little snake swinding pushed on? He's gone 146.7 there, so that's kind of hampered him this time, but BMW will get another fast run. Daniel, however, pips him by a couple of tenths of a second, 145.061. So Daniel in the Cavalier, then Daniel Pace, the German, in the Vauxhall Cavalier, the Mint Motorsport Cavalier. Darren into third, then knocks Brian Mulcahy back down to fourth, 145.191. So the Honda Accord driver trying to push on seems to be adapting. These guys that are on their laps now will be pushing. You can just see Pokovic trying to get the toe off Craig Thomas's Peugeot 406. That Alpha seems to be pushing. So qualifying now has officially finished. They will be now on to their final laps to try and get a lot. It looks like Pokovic goes purple, but he's still got that 406 of Craig Thomas in the way at the moment. It seems Dean Atkinson going through the latter half, but who is about to cross? I think Gareth Morris is about to cross the line, goes up to 7th then, so that's a good start for Gareth Morris with that maximum weight in 7th place. Then the Audi A4 driver getting that lap in just in time then. So Dean Atkinson comes through the latter half now. What's he gonna do? He's about to cross the line, 146.1, knocks Craig Thomas back down to 11th then, stays 10th then, thereabouts, but it looks like see what the rest are gonna do. Brian Mulcahy then, being BMW, about to push his way. He still stays 4th, however Panos still stays pole position then, which is quite lucky with that at the moment. Daniel actually pips him with 144.572, and then Darren still stays 3rd, Noah in 5th then, so it goes, oh, that is very close, because Craig Thomas then thereabouts it seems at the moment, and as I put Craig Thomas 9th. So that lap time 146.010 is thereabouts, and Lee Pitsey will be the last one to complete qualifying, I believe. He's thereabouts, but he's hasn't got much time to go, so he's still in 8th then. So he's top 5 in the grid order then is Daniel, followed by Panos, followed by Darren. So it's Vauxhall versus Renault versus Honda versus BMW versus Toyota. Then it goes Alfa, Audi, Ford, and then obviously Peugeot, Nissan Primera, the Dynamics machine of Scott Dalby in 10th place. Not a very good evening for Scott Dalby at the moment. Maybe he'll get a good start into race number 1, hopefully. Dean Atkinson's Works Primera 11th, and Adam Morgan in 12th then in the Arena Motorsport Renault Laguna. So that is your 12 races for this evening for the sprint race. It is going to be close to see exactly what's going to happen. Daniel just got that lap right at the end, and it seemed to be a very good qualification for the Vauxhall Cavalier driver. Let's see if he can emulate. He's actually on less weight, so it could be very close to see what happens. And obviously the likes of Panos, Darren, the first of the sort of the heaviest cars thereabouts then in 3rd place with Brian Mulcahy's BMW. It seemed to have a bit of a sliver. Tried to go away from him at that sector, and that's kind of be very close to see exactly what's happening. So we'll see exactly what is going to happen. But it could be very close. But we'll see what's going to happen for the sprint race then. It seems everyone's back from the formation lap, and it is going to be a red light. And it's about to turn to on green now, and who's going to get a good start into the first corner? It looks like Pokovic has a good start in that. Alfa Romeo tries to leapfrog the start there, and it seems a lot of cars are bunching and trying to get into turn number one. Pokovic, however, gets that Alfa up into fourth. Then it seems there's a lot of issues further back. Was that Brian Moncani's BMW? Yes, it was. Can we try and piece together what happened at the start? It seems he's thereabouts in 8th place though, however. Let's see what happens. Adam Morgan loses it, and then obviously he goes off on his own. So that's a bit of a shame for the BMW. So Daniel leads the way then from Darren, followed by Panos. So Panos up in 3rd place, then Darren gets into 2nd in that Honda Accord. Now under threat from the Laguna of Panos there. Panos for Ganis, trying to put the Laguna under threat, trying to put Darren under threat there. You can just see Daniel's Cavalier, Jinx to the left, Jinx to the right. Darren's allowed Panos past him. Don't know whether that was a genuine pass or just like, when I say genuine pass, whether it was just a kind of a letting him go because he was struggling with that weight. But he's back down in 3rd place then, with Pokovic Alfa trying to chase after the Honda. Noah's Toyota, followed by Lee Fitz's Ford, Craig Thomas's Peugeot 406. Gareth Morris drops down to 8th then in that Audi A4. Is that going to be a key factor with Dean Atkinson's Primera behind him? Adam Morgan, Scott Dalby in 10th and 11th, and Brian Moncani in 12th place in that BMW. Whether he's suffering at the moment, he seems to have good qualifying pace, but Daniel leads them away for lap number 2 then, going into the first turn. Darren under threat yet, as per usual, from the Alfa Romeo. Got that Honda Accord though, he's dialed up to Panos. It could be a 3-car battle for 2nd place because Pokovic and of course Darren. Pokovic goes on that side, what a move, but Darren drops down to 4th then. Is that weight considerably hurting Brian Moncani's had a bit of an issue? Whether that BMW has had quite a lot. Noah on that side of the Honda, the Toyota and the Honda on home turf territory, literally trying to push on into 4th and 5th. Lee Fitzy there in 6th place. You can just see the Ford Mondeo driver trying to push on. He's going to try and get there. It looks like Dean Atkinson up into 8th for Gareth Morris. You can just see the Audi A4 trying to get back past that Primera, it seems, but at the moment he's 8th at the moment from Gareth Morris's Audi A4. It's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen, but seeing exactly how well things go for this evening, it seems like there's going to be quite a few cars now. Darren seems to be holding up Noah. Noah's trying to get that Toyota past that Honda. The Ford and the Peugeot are also there. They're also working together. There's almost a bit of a battle for 2nd place as well between Panos and of course Pokovic. The Renault versus the Alfa. You can just see Lee Fitz's Ford Mondeo getting a bit sideways with Craig Thomas in that Peugeot 406 chasing him down. About to start lap number 3 out of 11 then, and it seems the sprint race has already came alive. You can just see Craig Thomas latching onto the back of that Ford Mondeo. He's going to try and get that Peugeot into that place thereabouts. You can just see the top 7 almost equally matched. Dean Atkinson 8th, Gareth Morris 9th, Adam Morgan in 10th then, and Scott Dalby 11th at the moment. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen. In the meantime, this is allowing Daniel to escape up the road in that Vauxhall Cavalier. However, Panos in that Renault Laguna, the DC Cut Laguna, trying to push on away from the Alfa. The Alfa seems to be pushing quite a bit. He's trying to push on. He's got Darren Baldwin for company behind him now. However, the Honda Accord driver trying to push on ahead of Noah's Toyota Carina. It seems the battle for 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th could be alive. Same with the battle for 2nd and 3rd. Quite roughly the same sort of pace at the moment then. We'll see exactly what's going to happen. You can just see Panos and of course Pokovic. Panos goes a bit hot into that corner. He seems to be getting that Laguna, trying to push on. He's got to try and get on to Daniel's back bumper. However, he can't, because while he's doing that, he's under threat from Pokovic's Alfa. The Alfa trying to push on. This is where it's going to be close. You can just see exactly what's going to happen because the Alpha's getting closer to that Laguna. You can just see it. Darren Baldwin's Honda Accord though, under threat from Noah's Toyota Carina. The top 7, or the top couple of cars then, however, that's allowing Daniel to escape. You can just see Pokovic getting on that outside line for the corner. Oh, this is going to be fantastic. Noah gets that 4th place from Darren Baldwin though, however the Honda driver concedes to the Toyota. It seems there's a bit of close proximity battles. Pokovic going one way and another, trying to make Panos into a mistake. Then you can just see the Serbian driver trying to chase after the Greek driver. It just seems to be a lot of pace between these guys at the moment, so Noah trying to chase after Pokovic as well, so you can just see exactly what's going to happen. We've got Darren in 5th then, heaviest of the cars at the moment. Craig Thomas into 6th then, that Peugeot still holding off Lee Fitzy. Lee Fitzy has got to try and push back on the Ford Mondeo driver, equally matched them, but it seems there's a lot of battles galore. Dean Atkinson under threat from Gareth Morris. His Audi A4 seems to be pushing the Audi all the way to the limit, but what is going on for quite a lot of battles? You've got Pokovic and Noah side by side almost. Noah gets a bit crossed up with Pokovic there. Darren's also alongside. It could be 3 cars trying to push on, so Noah up into 3rd then, only in his 3rd touring car race of the season. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen for this time. It seems that Daniel's got that lead though, however 1.9 of a second. He's about to start lap number 5 with around 6 laps to go then, with Panos 2nd, Noah in 3rd then, Pokovic 4th, with Darren 5th and Craig Thomas in 6th place then. So it looks like the top 6 equally matched at the moment. However, you know, it's going to be very close to see what happens between these guys. It seems Noah's got to be pushing, he's got to push away from that car there, the Pokovic, the Alpha versus the Toyota. The Toyota, however, at the moment in its trying to push quite a bit. Pokovic, he knows how to race though. Sometimes it can be robust, but however it is going to be class. We can't wait to see exactly what is going to happen for some time. You've got Daniel still leading the race then, from Panos, from Noah, followed by Pokovic, followed by Darren, followed by Craig's Peugeot 406, trying to put the Honda Accord driver a bit more pressure. Lee Fitzy in around 7th, Gareth Morris and Dean Atkinson 8th and 9th. At the moment you can just see Adam Morgan as well as Scott Dalby for 10th and 11th. The Laguna versus the Primera then, so the Audi versus Primera, the Works Primera just up ahead. You can just about see what's going to happen for some time. It seems we've got the likes of Panos trying to chase Daniel down, but Daniel's got the Cavalier under control, seems to be leading very well at the moment, with Panos trying to escape. Noah's got that bit of a gap now to Pokovic. Pokovic under threat from, of course, Darren, the Honda, trying to get that Alfa Romeo in his sights now, trying to push on. Whether he does or not is going to be another thing. We're about to start lap number 6, and it's going to be very close to see what the Alfa can do, whether he ekes out that advantage from the Honda Accord driver there. We'll see exactly what's going to happen. He's got Noah in his sights as well, so the Toyota a bit slower this time round, but Pokovic, his Alpha, is on top form at the moment, trying to push on, but it seems at the moment the Alpha versus the Honda. The Peugeot in 6th then, with Lee Fitzy in 7th, trying to chase after his cousin. It seems the cousins are trying to have that battle, interchanging battle on track. It's also very close because Pokovic was a bit slow out of that corner, which has allowed Darren Baldwin to get on his gearbox and try and chase him down for what would be 4th place. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen between now and then. It seems that Daniel's got that gap though, 2.1 of a second from Panos in that DC Cut Laguna. You can just see the Cavalier stretching that lead and literally trying to get the hammer down, try and literally get his first win of the season. Noah in third then, however, trying to push on. Seems to be doing quite a good job in third place at the moment. Darren trying to get past that Alpha. Pokovic thinks about it, you know. These two have probably raced quite some time now against each other, and it seems the Honda driver trying to get onto the back of that Alfa Romeo as best as he can. You can just see the Peugeot 406 of Craig Thomas literally trying to push on as well. It's going to be tooth and nail will the guys push on, it seems. But under the bridge we go for the sixth time into the latter half of the lap. Then it seems the Honda and Alfa battle is going to be raging on. However, the Audi and Nissan battles just slightly back down a bit. Adam Morgan trying to chase after these guys in that Arena Motorsport. Renault Laguna. Scott Dalby, however, struggling in that Dynamics Primera at the moment. Then in 11th place, it seems Daniel's got the fastest lap still, pushing on lap number 7 out of 11 then, so only a handful of laps to go in this sprint race. It seems the battle for fourth between Darren and of course Pokovic. Pokovic has the Alfa, trying to stretch away from Darren's Honda. The Honda trying to push on. He's trying to literally get that Alfa Romeo in his sights. He's trying to use all that advantage. He is one of the heaviest cars out there in the top 5 at the moment, and but we'll see exactly what's going to happen, because he's currently third in the championship. This could be another sensational battle towards that half of the field. We'll see exactly how it pans out. He's trying to get past that Alfa. The Alfa going down the hill, then trying to literally push away. He's trying to literally now push on to Noah's Toyota. You can just see. But however, the two cousins almost having a battle as well. Gareth Morris in 8th then, doing a fantastic job. But it looks like, you know, Adam Morgan 9th, Scott Dalby now 10th, Dean Atkinson, oh, he's had a bit of damage, so he's now in 11th. That Works Primera in 11th. Seems to have a bit of an issue, but Daniel's about to come through that latter half of the lap into the final kink to start lap number 8. He's actually eked out that advantage from DC Cook Laguna of Panos then. Noah's still doing a fine job in third for the Toyota team. It seems to be working to its advantage there. So it's going to be very close. You can just see Pokovic in that Alfa. They're trying to break the toe from each other to stop the cars from trying to get that overlap. But Pokovic still in fourth then with around 3 laps to go. 3, maybe 4 laps to go. It is going to be fantastic to see what is going to happen. Darren's still in 5th place then, trying to push on. He's trying to push up to 4th, maybe 3rd by the end of the lap, but it seems at the moment though, Craig Thomas in the Peugeot still in 6th place, then Lee Fitzy trying to push on with Gareth Morris in 8th then, with Adam Morgan 9th, Dean Atkinson's in pit lane in that Primera, probably to repair the damage. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen. But Panos still in 2nd place, Pokovic almost up to Noah's Toyota, but Darren's on a massive charge in that Honda. You can just see the Honda literally trying to get past that Alfa. He's actually almost onto the gearbox now of the Alfa Romeo going down the hill then. You know, this could be how things may pan out. You can just see Noah trying to escape in 3rd place. He's got Pokovic chasing him. Darren's almost there though. That's well with these guys. He's like 0.3 of a second from Pokovic's Alfa. The Toyota gets a bit crossed up into the latter half. He's got to be careful because he's got the faster guys behind him. I know he's only in his 3rd event, but you know, the Carina trying to hold off the Alfa, followed by the Honda. So the 2 Japanese cars in a Japanese sandwich with Pokovic's Alfa in 4th place at the moment. But on to lap number 9 we go, and this could be a battle for 3rd place. We could see Pokovic's Alfa followed by Darren's Honda. Seems to get the legs. He's trying to escape. He's got Pokovic. Pokovic tries to overtake the Toyota. Gets that move done, but no one's thinking about it. Tucks back into 4th. However, he's got to be careful because Darren's going to try and make it 3 wide. He's got Pokovic there still in 3rd place then, with Noah in 4th, then Darren 5th in the moment. Seems to, with 2 laps to go in this race, it's going to be very close between the top the 3 cars here for 3rd, 4th and 5th, potentially but that's allowing the guys like Panos and of course Daniel to still lead the way, it seems. But I tell you what is going on this evening? You know, you've got the likes of Adam Morgan and Scott Dalby 9th and 10th, with Dean Atkinson currently 11th, and obviously Gareth Morris trying to chase down Lee Fitzy, Craig Thomas, however, trying to push that Peugeot all the way. But at the moment the battle for third still raging on. Noah's trying to get that Toyota back past the Alpha. The Alpha's trying to defend at the same time, but at the same time Darren's got to be careful not to get caught up in some silly mistake, if there is, but I don't think there'll be any silly mistakes. But why Noah's trying to push Pokovic, he gets that Alpha a bit loose, seems to have a bit of a loosey-goosey moment there, it seems, with Pokovic trying to get that Alpha back on, the power back on, with Noah's Toyota trying to push. You can just see these three are battling. We'll try and watch this battle as we go on to the penultimate lap of the sprint race then here at Autopolis for the Chell Lawman Motorsport British Touring Cars. Noah thinks about going on the outside for turn number 1. Pokovic has a bit of a slide, but is that allowed the Toyota through? No, it hasn't. But the battle for third still raging on. Darren seems to be wanting to go there. He tucks back in though. Noah's got a bit of an issue, has he? Or is he just pushing Pokovic still thereabouts? You can just see the Alpha. The Alpha's trying to get really close and personal and trying to stop the Toyota from trying to get past again. But this is why the BTCC is the phenomenal season. I'll tell you what, you've got Pokovic trying to get that Alpha onto the podium quite hard to try and push away from that Toyota. The Toyota versus the Honda versus the Alpha. Darren's going to get the two of them if he's careful. He's got Noah, he's going to now get Pokovic's Alpha. You could see that move was on. You could see that move was on. So Darren up into 4th then, trying to chase that Alpha now. He's got the Toyota of Noah behind him. So my controller decides to throw it a bit of away from me, with Darren still 4th with Pokovic's Alpha 3rd at the moment then. However, we'll see exactly what's going on between this battle. This is the battle we like to see. However, this is where it's going to be tooth and nail. I do apologise, just trying to sort my controller out, with Pokovic trying to defend like mad from Darren Baldwin. At the moment the Honda driver trying to get past that Alpha into the final corner, then onto the final lap we go. It goes very close. The toes trying to get there, with Pokovic's Alpha trying to be pushed on with that Honda. The Honda's trying to get wide. No, it gets past Darren, but he's trying to get past Pokovic. Pokovic almost holds them up. It seems that, you know, the battle for third is not going away at the moment. So you've got Darren, Noah and of course Pokovic, the Alpha versus Honda versus Toyota. It's where it's going to get very close. Darren's trying to go on the outside line. He will have the inside. He's got that 3rd place. What a stellar move. But he's got to be careful because Noah and of course Pokovic chasing him down, it seems. Noah and Pokovic battling now for 4th and 5th at the moment. Seems to be quite a fantastic battle between the 3 of them rather, not 4 of them. It's going to be very close. Lee Fitzy, however, into 8th then. That Ford Mondeo has dropped a place to Gareth Morris in 7th, with Craig Thomas now latching onto the back. But the battle for 3rd still isn't over yet. But at the moment we'll just look at this guy. This guy is unstoppable. You have got Daniel coming through the latter half of the lap now, trying to be unstoppable, trying to push on. Whether he does or not is another thing, but he's going to take a sprint race victory here for this evening here at Autopolis. So Daniel comes through the final turn and he's going to take a well-deserved sprint race victory in Eldar Sim. He will be delighted. Panos 2nd, Darren will be in 3rd then. However, he's holding off Pokovic and of course Noah to take 3rd. What a battle between the 3 of them. Craig Thomas in that Peugeot 406 in 6th place then. Gareth Morris in 7th. This is where it's going to get very close. Lee Fitzy 8th, Adam Morgan 9th, Scott Dalby in 10th then for Team Dynamics Primera. seems to be suffering at the moment. That tyre wear seems to be quite a bit. And Dean Atkinson's works Primera in 11th place. Brian Moncani's BMW, however, has had an electrical issue by the sounds of it. So Dean Atkinson will bring that Primera in 11th and will start the feature race on pole position. And what a stellar race between these guys. I tell you what, it has been very close and probably an absolutely epic battle. But what has amazed me so far, I'll just get the race results. So you got Daniel takes his first win of the season, followed by Panos in the Laguna. Darren rather gets third in that Honda record. The battle for third was an absolute astounding battle. I'll tell you what, Pokovic fourth in the Alpha, maybe kicking himself slightly, having a bit of a wiggle on. You've got Noah in fifth then for Toyota. Craig Thomas's Peugeot 406 in sixth place, followed by Gareth Morris in that Audi A4, the 110%, the heaviest car on the grid, still finishes seventh. Lee Fitzy not eighth then in that Rapid Fit Mondo. Adam Morgan in the Arena Motorsport Laguna. Scott Dalby in the Team Dynamics Nissan Primera in 10th, followed by Dean Atkinson's Works Primera in 11th. Sadly, Brian Moncani's BMW had an electrical issue at the start, so he unfortunately retires. He may not be back for race number 2 because it has transpired. Fastest lap, however, on lap number 6 goes to Daniel in that Vauxhall Cavalier with a 144.9. I'll tell you what, if it goes to a bit of a feature race, we're going to have a 10-minute break and we are going to go around 8:45 for the 22 lap feature race, where it is going to be exciting. I personally can't wait. It is going to be very close and probably close proximity battles galore. And I'll tell you what, if it's anything like the sprint race, we're in for a treat. But I'll tell you what, I am really looking forward to seeing what the feature race is going to do. It's going to be technically close but proximity, so we'll see exactly what's going to happen. So now the feature race, you can be on the super softs or the mediums depending on how you feel. 22 laps round here is going to be probably quite a bit of an advantage, and we'll see how well things go. But you know, it's going to be very close to see what happens. But I think, you know, having the lighter car seems to be pushing on quite a bit for that amount of time, it seems. Ooh, that was a bit weird. But it seems there was a bit of a argy-bargy moment in race number 1 for the battle for third. Battle for third seems to be pushed on, and it's going to be very good to see how well everyone goes for the feature race. It seems a lot of cars may be wanting to push on, seeing exactly what Pokovic is doing. I think he's trying to practice his race starts. He's, you know, he seems to want to do that. The Serbian trying to push on. I think he's just trying to practice his starts because of, obviously, with the weight, it seems. But he's going to try and launch it thereabouts. So the Alpha driver just practicing. So it seems a lot of things going on for the championship. So 22 lap feature race is going to be coming up very soon, and we'll see exactly what is going to happen. So we'll just wait for everyone else to enter, and then we'll see who's going to be very quick and who is going to be pushing to the absolutely limit we seem to be. Amazing to see who's going to take out the feature race. So we'll go with the grid. So obviously Dean Atkinson's Primera will start on pole position for the feature race, followed by Scott Dalby's Team Dynamics run Primera, followed by Adam Morgan's Arena Motorsport Laguna. Then Lee Fitzey's actually top 4. The Rapid Fit for Mondeo will be 4th place on the grid. Then you have Gareth Morris in the Audi A4, now going to be 5th place for the feature race grid, with Gareth Morris alongside, Gareth Morris in the Audi in 5th, with the Peugeot 406 with Craig Thomas alongside him in 6th. So that's going to be very close to see what happens with the likes of Craig and Gareth Morris, especially with Gareth having the 110% Audi A4 heaviest weight alongside. We'll see exactly how well that does. Noah in 7th then in the Toyota Carina will be pushing on for hopefully what would look like a fantastic evening of racing. Pokovic in 8th, then the Alfa Romeo will start from 8th, and we'll see how well he does. Darren's Honda Accord 9th will be probably trying to push on from that. He may not, what's the word I'm looking for, may not excel straight away depending on what tyre he starts on, but I don't mean that in a bad way. He's a very established racer. He did very well to get that battle for 3rd in race number 1, but he now starts 9th, so he's a bit farther back than he wanted to be. But obviously Panos in 10th place in that DC Cut Laguna, couldn't catch Daniel in that Vauxhall Cavalier to take the race win. So Daniel will be around 11th place on the grid. So it's going to look likely, from what I'm seeing, it's going to be fantastic to see how well things go. I, for sure, have realised certain ways for the championship, and it is going to be very close to see exactly what is going to happen for the feature race. And I'll tell you this, it has been very close, and most likely very much very close to see what they're going to do for this evening. So we're about to get the feature race underway in around 3 minutes time, I believe, so we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Looks like most are going to be starting on mediums. I think some are going to start on the super. I think Gareth Morris may start on the super softs, is what I'm looking at here. So the Audi A4 driver on the super softs maybe wants to get them over and done with, because he thinks the mediums may burn out a bit more. But it'd be interesting to see what else everyone else is running. Looks like Scott Dalby's not the only, is going to be on the super softs, maybe to get them over and done with. Dean Atkinson as well. It should be very close to see exactly what's going to happen for the likes of obviously Dean Atkinson. Excuse me. But maybe it's just part and parcel of what exactly is going to go on for this evening, and it's going to be very close to see what happens. I think Daniel's going to be on the mediums, Pokovic on the mediums, so it looks like in around 2 minutes time we are going to be getting that all-important 22 lap feature race. 15 minutes minimum on each compound, obviously only one pit stop. It's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. But most of the field, there's a couple of guys on the super softs like the Audi A4 and the Nissan Primeras. Maybe that's the way to go. Maybe try and get them over and done with to start with, and then jump onto the mediums and see what happens from there. But you've got the two Primeras thereabouts. It's going to be close between the Arena Motorsport Primera. It looks like Scott Dalby's just practicing a practice start. He'll be starting from second on the grid, so it's going to be close to see what he's going to do for the feature race, the Team Dynamics machine. Maybe he's going to try and push on and see what he can do. Seems to be excuse me, seems to be a bit of a, I don't know whether he's having a bit of an issue, or we'll see exactly what's going to happen. But obviously, you know, he's got the Works Primera alongside him with Dean Atkinson, so there's going to be a lot of interest to do with that car, especially the cars that are on the mediums, and especially, you know, it's going to be very close. We'll just wait for the countdown for the feature race to disappear, and then we'll get on with it. But we'll see exactly how well tonight is going to happen. So we do have, it says Sardinia. We're not at Sardinia, we're at Autopolis. So it's Dean Atkinson followed by Scott Dalby, Adam Morgan, Lee Fitzy, Gareth Morris, Gray Thomas, and of course Noah, followed by Pokovic, Darren, and of course Panos, and of course Daniel at the back of the grid. So we've got the green flag from the back of the grid to say all the cars are here. After the formation lap, the red light turns on to the starting gantry. It will flip to green in a minute. The revs are building. Green light is now shown. Who's gonna get the jump into turn number one? Quite a bit of wheel spin. It looks like Daniel's had a bit of an issue at the back. It seems Dan's dropped a bit behind, but it looks like at the moment then Dean Atkinson leads away from Adam Morgan and Scott Dalby, followed by, who is that in fourth? Lee Fitzy in fourth then. So it looks like at the moment the two at the back, Darren's got a bit of an issue by the looks of it. So he's got no throttle, he didn't have no throttle. So it looks like the throttle was stuck open on that Honda Accord then. So Dean Atkinson leads away from Adam Morgan. Pokovic already, oh, it's got a bit naughty. Lee Fitzy goes around. Can we piece that together to see what happens? I think Pokovic was trying to go for that move as well. The Alpha was trying to get that move on. He's got to be careful. I think Pokovic goes for that move, but then that blocks him, and that's, I think Craig Thomas tapped him, so Craig Thomas tapped his cousin, which is a bit unfortunate. But at the moment Dean Atkinson seems to lead in the way from Adam Morgan, followed by Scott Dalby. Primera versus Laguna versus Primera versus Alpha versus Toyota, followed by the Audi, followed by the Renault Laguna, the DC Laguna, Craig Thomas Peugeot 406, Daniel in the Cavalier race 1 number winner, the sprint race winner in 9th, then followed by Lee Fitzy's Ford Mondeo and Darren's Honda Accord after a bit of a throttle issue off the start. But Dean Atkinson leads them away then to start lap number 2 very shortly. Adam Morgan second, under threat from Scott Dalby's Nissan Primera. The Laguna trying to push on away from the Primera. The Alpha also trying to go there. Noah in 5th then in the Toyota, it seems. Scott Dalby's going to try and make a move for 2nd place. He's got that move by Adam Morgan. He's got past Adam Morgan's Renault Laguna, Pokovic's Alpha also there. The Alpha seems to be coming on strong in the early part of the feature race. He's currently pushing, he's trying to get past that Arena Laguna, with Noah trying to chase him. Noah's trying to emulate exactly what he did in race number 1 with that Toyota. He's trying to get that Carina up to that Alpha. The Alpha's getting hold up by Adam Morgan's Laguna at the moment. Gareth Morris, however, 6th place at the moment, and the Audi A4, the maximum ballast Audi A4, trying to push on. He's trying to get that Audi A4 up into some good point scoring positions this evening. Pokovic has that Alpha trying to defend from the Toyotas. The Toyotas also trying to defend from the Audi. Looks like Daniel's got a bit of a wiggle on at the back. Sprint race winner, but Noah and of course Pokovic had that sensational battle with Darren for 3rd in race number 1. But the Toyota trying to emulate and trying to actually push on. He's got Pokovic's Alpha trying to push up to Adam Morgan's Laguna, but it seems the Primeras are 1 and 2 at the moment. The Works versus the Dynamics car, but at the moment Noah gets that Toyota a bit squiggly, but it does not matter. It seems that Adam Morgan trying to defend from these cars behind him. Pokovic there. Noah trying to defend from Gareth Morris at the meantime. Panos in 7th then, however Daniel still in 8th then, got past Craig Thomas through. Craig Thomas is Peugeot 406, maybe the 406 may be having a bit of an issue at the moment, do we know? Lee Fixie 10th and Darren in 11th at the moment, but the battle for 3rd is still raging on. Pokovic, he's got to be careful. He's got past Adam Morgan, but you know, Gareth Morris and Noah. Oh my goodness, there's going to be 4 cars. Oh no, this is going to be very close. You know, this is going to be fantastic. Pokovic trying to hold off that, trying to hold that Alfa Romeo in 3rd place at the moment. Gareth Morris into 5th place, then Adam Morgan down it. Oh, there's a bit of contact between Panos and of course Adam Morgan. Let's put Adam Morgan into the wall. Can we piece that together? Looks like there was a lot of cars just trying to go into places where it shouldn't go. I think he was trying to, Adam was trying to get past Gareth Morris in the meantime, but Panos was there. Panos had probably a slide, and then it just tips Adam Morgan into the wall, which is a bit unfortunate, so that's lost him a bit of ground. Lee Fitzy, however, in 8th place then, so Adam Morgan in 9th then. Panos sort of now into 10th place. Maybe he's decided gifting that place back, because it's fair play to him. 10th place Darren Baldwin and 11th then. Dean Atkinson still leads the way from Scott Dalby. Pokovic got a train of cars behind him now. Daniel up into 6th then. This is where it's probably going to be a bit of a fantastic battle for 3rd in the early stages of the feature race. And just remember, they will have to pit this race, but at the moment Pokovic in 3rd then for Alpha, followed by Noah's Toyota versus Gareth Morris's Audi A4 and Daniel's Vauxhall Cavalier in 6th place then, currently chasing down Gareth Morris. So the sprint race winner trying to get that Audi A4 past, which he does. He's dropped Gareth Morris back down to 6th place then. Craig Thomas in the Peugeot 406 in 7th, Lee Fitzy 8th, Darren and Panos 9th and 10th, but Adam Morgan, he's on the charge there. He's got past Darren. Darren seems to be having a bit of a problem, whether that throttle is having a bit of a throttle pedal is having a bit of a problem. He's got back down to 11th. So it looks like Adam Morgan there still in 10th place then. Lee Fitzy 8th, Craig Thomas 7th, Gareth Morris through, trying to chase after Daniel's Cavalier. The Audi's still trying to chase. It looks like Pokovic and Noah, shades of race number 1 where they were battling for 3rd, but ultimately finished 4th and 5th. It looks like Pokovic trying to get that Alpha away from that Toyota. He's trying to chase. It's the 2nd of the red cars at the moment. Pokovic trying to get away from Noah. Noah's got that Toyota very dialed up. It's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. It seems at the moment though, however, Noah's got that Toyota where he wants it. Daniel in 5th then for the Vauxhall Cavalier, the Mint Motorsport Cavalier. Gareth Morris's Audi A4 still in 6th place then, doing a stellar job at the moment then. Craig Thomas Peugeot 406 trying to chase them down. Lee Fitzy thereabouts in the Ford Mondeo. Panos in 9th then. Adam Morgan trying to chase this pack down with of course Darren Baldwin's Honda Accord, trying to push onto that Arena Motorsport with Renault Laguna. But this is going to be very close. One lap 5 out of 22. Pokovic trying to fend off Noah's Toyota at the moment. Seems the Alpha trying to get the legs, he's trying to get into that sort of the zone, but Noah's got that Toyota dialed up. He's got it really dialed up this evening. Maybe it's just the way it goes. That Toyota seems to be adapting, with Daniel's Vauxhall Cavalier chasing them down as well. Excuse me. With Pokovic slow out that corner. Oh, I thought he was going to spin then, but he's 3rd place at the moment. Noah trying to chase him down at the moment. Daniel's still 5th then, trying to chase these 2 down. Maybe the Mint Motorsport Cavalier wants to have another victory. You know, the championship is hotting up. This is the penultimate round of the championship, but you know, Daniel's trying to get that Cavalier past the Toyota at the moment. It seems, has there been a change for the 9th? Yes, there have. It looks like at the moment then Darren in 9th, then Adam Morgan 10th, Lee Fitzy. Oh, he's got a bit of a problem. He's down on power with that Ford Mondeo. The Rapid Fit Ford Mondeo seems to have a bit of an engine issue, so that's going to be very close to see what happens. Scott Dalby, however, second place at the moment with Daniel. Got the move done on Noah's Toyota. Oh, he's got a bit crossed up there. He's got Gareth Morris though. The Audi versus the Toyota. It's going to be very close to see what they're going to do, but this is allowing Craig Thomas's Peugeot 406 to try and catch the Toyota and the Audi up. You can just see the Audi with that 110% weight ballast that he's got on his car. It seems to be affecting. He's got the lights on there, he's got the hazard lights on, whether he was just allowing that place back, but you know, you can see in anguish how that Craig Thomas in that Peugeot 406, the 406, the SO Ultron green and gold machine, trying to push on. You know, it seems at the moment, but you know, they'll be fast approaching the pit stop window very soon, and this is where it's going to get very close. You can just see Noah and Gareth and of course Craig trying to battle that for that place, that elusive 5th place at the moment then. However, so we'll see exactly what's going on. Daniel in 4th at the moment, trying to chase after Pokovic, trying to chase after Scott Dalby. Then the Nissan Primera seems to have a bit of an issue, a bit more tyre wear now goes on. He's on the super soft though, whereas Pokovic is on the racing medium, so it seems it's quite a bit of battles galore going on at the moment, with Noah trying to fend off Gareth Morris in that Audi A4. Craig Thomas trying to get up to his best mate, trying to say, come on mate, let's go, let's work together and get past that Toyota. But you know, anything can happen. We're not even at the halfway stage of the feature race as of yet. Craig almost tries to take the Audi A4 to the cleaners there. Noah gets a bit sideways in that Toyota. That's allowed Gareth Morris right on his tail, right on that gearbox of that Toyota Carina. You can just see the Toyota versus the Audi. Panos in 8th then, with Darren 9th in that Honda Accord. Adam Morgan, oh, he's gone off. He's got a bit of damage there to the left rear of that Renault Laguna. Lee Fitzy still there, he's repaired the car. I don't know whether he's just got it, but Pokovic gets into 2nd almost. Scott Dalby, yes, Pokovic gets that Alpha sideways, gets the power down, but it snakes him out. That's dropped Scott down to 3rd at the moment in the Nissan Primera. Daniel's slowly but surely catching him up in that Cavalier. You can just see the Cavalier chasing the Primera, the Dynamics Run Primera versus the Alpha as well. Oh, Daniel's got that move just about on Scott Dalby, but Scott Dalby closes the door. You can just see as soon as they put the power down, the Cavalier gets a bit snaky. But this is where it's going to get very close, because Scott's got that Dynamics Primera where he wants it. He's on the racing super softs at the moment. Quite a few cars on the super softs. Maybe it's just the way it goes. Scott Dalby, however, oh, he's trying to get past Pokovic's Alpha. He's allowed Daniel right on his tail though. The battle for 3rd is almost hotting up as well. Well, 2nd, or should I say, as well as the battle for 5th and 6th, because Craig's now got past Gareth Morris. Maybe the weight's now hurting that Audi, so the Peugeot's got past the Audi. Maybe the Toyota's going to try and latch on, but they're going to have to be very careful, because Pokovic, he's got to be careful. Scott Dalby's all over him. You can just see the cars sliding about. Just shows how much wears into these tyres. But one to lap number 7 then, out of 22. Dean Atkinson still leads the race though, however, with Pokovic 2nd, Scott Dalby 3rd, Daniel 4th at the moment. Noah in that Toyota under threat from Craig Thomas's Peugeot. The Peugeot is right nose to tail, going down the front straight here at Autopolis. Craig's going to try and get the move done into turn number 1. Is he going to use that Peugeot power? You can just see Daniel for 3rd on Scott Dalby. He's actually got that move done, as Craig almost gets the move done on Noah, but he's dropped back quite a bit. He's dropped into the clutches of Gareth Morris, the 2 best mates, trying to push on. The 2 Welsh lads trying to, literally, the Audi trying to get past that 406. You can just see Craig working that Peugeot quite a bit. Hops and skips that curb. He's trying to defend like mad from Gareth Morris, but Gareth Morris gets a bit sideways. That's allowed Panos to get alongside the DC Cut Laguna versus that Audi A4. You can just see they're almost pranging door mirrors. It can be very close to see what's happening. However, Scott Dalby in 4th then at the moment, with Noah in 5th chasing him down. Daniel trying to chase after Pokovic. That's allowing Dean Atkinson's lead to go even further, but just remember they are got to pit stop. Got to make a pit stop in this race. Darren still in 9th then. Adam Morgan in 10th, Lee Fitzy 11th still. But, you know, the battle for seconds raging. Daniel's got that Cavalier trying to chase after the Alfa Romeo. You can just about see it. Scott Dalby's holding on for 4th at the moment. Pokovic's Alfa trying to get away from Daniel's Cavalier. You can just see the Dynamics Primera of Scott Dalby as well. This is where it's going to be happening. Noah in 5th then, Craig Thomas in 6th. This is where it's going to be absolutely tooth and nail. We'll see exactly what happens. Dean Atkinson goes into pit lane, so he's the first to pit then this time round. So that's allowed Pokovic into first place then. Noah 3rd then, Craig in 4th, Panos 5th, Gareth Morris in 6th then, Darren in 7th, Scott Dalby also goes into pit lane. So the guys that are on super softs, maybe it's time. They're thinking, well, maybe it's time to get onto the mediums, and the guys that are already on the mediums are going to struggle. So that's allowed Adam Morgan in 10th then, Lee Fitzy in 11th, Pokovic still under threat from Daniel's Cavalier, the Alpha, trying to defend like mad. He gets a bit sideways though, however. You can just see the battle for first place at the moment between 1st and 2nd. Pokovic in the works Alfa Romeo versus the independent run Cavalier. It seems there's a lot of nice battles going on at the moment. It seems that Noah versus Craig as well, the Peugeot 406 and the Toyota trying to emulate quite a lot, but you can just see Panos thereabouts in that DC Cut Laguna with Gareth Morris's Audi A4, but you can just see Daniel getting closer and closer to the back of that Alpha. This is where it's going to get fantastic between the pair of them. Hopefully it does not end in tears between the pair of them, but you know, we don't want that to happen. We'll see exactly what's going to happen for quite some time. It's got Pokovic trying to push away from the Cavalier versus that Toyota hop, skips and jumps to curbs. Craig Thomas's Peugeot 406 also in that train of cars. Gareth Morris and of course Panos there side by side. It's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen, but you can just about see a couple of cars still eking out that advantage. You've got Noah trying to defend from that 406. Craig's going to get that 406 powered down past the Toyota. You can just see a lot of battles are going on at the moment. This is why I love the touring cars, and I'll tell you what, Pokovic goes a bit wide. Noah goes a bit wide, couple of kicking up the dirt thereabouts. Daniel's trying to get past that Alpha. You can just see the Cavalier. Oh, it's run a bit wide. That's a bit unfortunate. That's allowed Noah and Craig to now jump onto his back bumper. Noah's got that Cavalier trying in his clutches, trying to get that Toyota. You can just see the Peugeot as well lurking. Oh no, Craig's lost it slightly. It seems, oh, Craig's lost it control. Oh, that's unfortunate. What happened? Can we piece that together? Let's have a look. He's just trying to push up to Noah. He seems to Noah tries to get past Daniel's Cavalier, but then it looks like Craig gets a bit of a slide on, gets back on, but then slides it and then clips that grass and then ultimately into the barrier. So that's a bit unfortunate there. So Pokovic still leading the race from Noah, followed by Daniel, followed by Panos then, followed by Gareth Morris and Darren Baldwin in the Honda. So Alpha versus Toyota versus Vauxhall versus Renault versus Audi versus Honda. Peugeot versus Dean Atkinson, however, has made a pit stop with Scott Dalby thereabouts. Lee Fitzy in 10th with Adam Morgan. Oh, he's got more damage on that Arena Motorsport Laguna. How's he done that this time? Let's have a look going into the hairpin. He's trying to chase after Lee Fitzy, but he just loses the racing mediums thereabouts. But on to lap 12 then. Oh, yeah, lap 12. That's actually a lap 11, I do apologise. Way ahead of myself. So Pokovic there in the lead then from Noah, followed by Panos, followed by Gareth Morris. Darren now into 5th then. Dean Atkinson now up into 6th. because Daniel's gone into pit lane. Craig Thomas also in there, so we'll see what the Peugeot crew can do. They come out nose to tail, do they? Craig's still taking a bit longer, so Daniel in 7th, Scott Dalby 8th. Craig's Peugeot, they're still working on the Peugeot, so we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Lee Fitzy in 10th, Adam Morgan in 11th, still with that damage on that Arena Motorsport Renault Laguna. Pokovic, however, getting caught by Noah this time round. You can just see how well this means to these guys at the moment. It seems that Pokovic trying to push on away from that Toyota, the Alpha. The Toyota gets a bit of a squiggle, but he's going to be pushing on. He's a very established racer, is Noah. He's trying to push quite a bit with Panos in 3rd. Gareth Morris 4th though. And that Audi, the 110% heaviest weight car on the grid. 4th place though, Darren in 5th then. Dean Atkinson and Daniel in 6th and 7th. Scott Dalby 3rd in the Team Dynamics Primera. So I reckon it's going to be between the Primeras and the Cavalier. Craig Thomas's 406 goes a bit wide. 10th place then. Adam Morgan in 11th. So it looks like Pokovic is going to be staying out for another lap. Noah does the same, Panos does that. Gareth Morris, however, goes into pit lane, so the Audi A4 into pit lane. Darren in 4th then, however, this is going to allow Daniel to try and close up. Dean Atkinson, though, however, always had a bit of damage. What has happened to Dean? Because he was doing well, he's clipped the barrier. He was doing very well in this race, so Scott Dalby will be thereabouts now. So the guys that need to pit will be pushing on, but we'll see exactly what is going to happen. So Dean Atkinson goes back into pit lane, so Gareth Morris out in 7th then in the Audi A4, pushing up to Scott Dalby's Dynamics Run Primera. Dean Atkinson repairing that car. Lee Fitzy, the two cousins between Lee Fitzy and Craig Thomas, the Peugeot versus the Ford. The Peugeot's trying to push into 8th place. Lee Fitzy thinks about it. Oh, I thought they were going to touch then, but Craig gets it done. Lee Fitzy then in 9th place then. Rapid Fit Ford Mondeo tries to push after that SO Ultron Peugeot 406. You can just see the cousins trying to battle. Dean Atkinson rejoins in 10th place then. Adam Morgan 11th. Pokovic still in 1st place in that Alpha with Noah Wright's Toyota Carina trying to push on there. You can just see cars are squirming a bit more, getting a bit more heat, and maybe a bit less grip now on them mediums, it seems. On lap 12 out of 22, so around about 10 laps to go in this race, it seems. But Pokovic still holding on from Noah, followed by Panos and of course Darren Baldwin 4th at the moment. Darren's going to push on. Daniel 5th then, race number 1 winner in 5th place, soon to be 3rd place because Pokovic and Noah have gone into pit lane. It seems Scott Dalby under threat from Gareth Morris though. You can just see the Audi A4 trying to lurk past that Team Dynamics Nissan Primera. It seems it's going to be quite a battle between these two. You know, we'll see how well Noah and Pokovic gets out of pit lane into 4th place then, however. So Scott Dalby's pace to try and get on the podium. Noah in 5th though. However, Gareth Morris gets that Audi alongside that Primera into turn number 1. He has got it. Gareth Morris almost there though. Scott Dalby gets alongside him. The Primera and Audi A4 battle seems to be fantastic bit of kit between the pair of them. Scott Dalby takes 6th place from Gareth Morris. Craig Thomas 8th in the Peugeot then. Dean Atkinson 9th. Lee Fitzy for his compulsory pit stop 10th then. Adam Morgan 11th. Panos, however, 3.5 of a second from Darren Baldwin's Honda Accord, so DC Cut Laguna versus the Honda, but that's probably going to be closed down because the likes of Panos and Darren, 1st and 2nd, will have to pit this time round. But Pokovic is on course for maybe another podium. Noah's on course for another podium, you never know. Out of this race you've got Scott Dalby being chased still by Gareth Morris's Audi A4 in the Primera. He's not giving up, trying to escape that Audi A4. You can just about see it, but this is where it's going to be very interesting to see what happens between the guys, it seems, at the moment though. However, so it looks like Pokovic and Darren, well, Darren goes into pit lane while Panos stays out. So Daniel will take second place from Darren. Pokovic will take third, with Noah fourth at the moment. But this is going to be very close to see exactly what happens. Scott Dalby though, however, Team Dynamics Nissan Primera, he's doing a fabulous job at the moment, trying to hold off Gareth Morris. This is where it's going to count. Still trying to put a lot of timing in Darren's Honda. He comes out in 7th. Craig Thomas just coming out the final corner, so he's in 8th, so Darren just pips him to 8th. It's, well, 7th place at the moment then. Dean Atkinson's Nissan Primera down in 9th place after pitting yet again for damage. Lee Fitzy in 10th then, with Adam Morgan's Renault Laguna in 11th, rounding up the field at the moment. So Panos still leading the way in that DC Laguna. He's probably going to time it to perfection. He's going to be going into the pits though this time round. Whether that's going to allow him, whether that's going to allow Daniel to get back in front. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen for this evening. So we'll see exactly what is going to happen. So Panos coming through the final part of the circuit though. Daniel in second though at the moment, still trying to latch on. Pokovic third, Noah fourth, Scott Dalby and Gareth Morris 5th and 6th at the moment respectively. The Audi's gaining closer to that Nissan Primera, you can just about see it. But this is where it's going to be down to these guys now trying to push on for what could be 4th and 5th in the race. Darren Baldwin there in the Honda Accord still latching on, but that's a lot. Panos goes into pit lane, which has allowed Daniel to take the lead of the race. Then he will be probably on course for a double win this evening if things go to plan. Scott Dalby, however, into 4th, as I say, but has it? No, because Panos comes out into 4th place then. So it looks like Panos has 4th place. It could be. He's on cold tyres though. Scott Dalby's got that medium. The mediums of the Team Dynamics Primera. Gareth Morris still 6th, then chasing him down like a rat up a drain pipe, and it seems to be quite a bit of a battle for these guys at the moment. 7th goes to Darren Baldwin at the moment in that Honda Accord. Gareth Morris tries to get that Nissan Primera dispatched from him, but he can't at the moment. Gives Scott a bit of a tap. Scott's got that Primera, trying to get it really dialed up, but Panos, this guy with half a tank of fuel in that DC Cup Laguna as well. But the battle for 5th place seems to be quite a fantastic battle. Gareth Morris tries to go one way, Darren's trying to go exactly the same. Scott Dalby breaks a bit late. Let's allow Gareth Morris back alongside, but then got to be careful because it's a three-way tussle. Could be a three-car battle, 3 wide into this turn. Scott Dalby holds Gareth Morris off, with Darren Baldwin trying to chase. You can just see how well these guys are adapting. Gareth Morris, even though he's the heaviest car in the field, he seems to be pushing it to its absolute limit. It's unstoppable. I'll tell you what, he's got to be careful because Darren's going to latch onto him in that Honda Accord. You can just see trying to punch his way past, not literally punch his way past obviously, but literally tried to centre punch the Honda Accord past that Audi A4 and past the Primera of Scott Dalby. You can just see these 3 are running nose to tail. Oh my goodness, it's 3 wide down the start finish line. Oh my goodness, this could be like imagine this for like 5th place on the last lap. Who's going to actually get 5th place though into turn number 1? Darren gets alongside Scott Dalby, however. That was absolutely top draw going down the front straight. So Scott still in 5th place then from Darren from Gareth Morris. But yeah, it's absolutely unstoppable. These three are putting on a good show at the moment. I can't believe, and as Malcolm's rightly said, it's a 3 in the bed moment. Oh dude, I can't do that. It's your line, but it's very close as Darren tries to get alongside that Nissan Primera. He's got the cord latching. Yes, he's got past, but will Scott Dalby try and fight back? Oh, this is getting close. Darren's got the move though. Team Dynamics Nissan Primera has to settle for 6th at the moment though. We're on lap 16 out of 22. It's going to be very close. I'll tell you what, Gareth Morris is launching that Audi A4 like it's got no weight in. He might be on 110%, but this is unstoppable. It's almost like the Audi has no weight, but he has got the weight. I know he has, but you know, he's pushing on. He's trying to push his way past Scott Dalby's Nissan Primera. Craig Thomas then, however, 8th place rather, in the Peugeot 406. Dean Atkinson 9th. Lee Fitzy 10th and Adam Morgan 11th at the moment. But in the meantime, with a handful of laps to go, is Daniel Page in the Vauxhall Cavalier, the Mint Motorsport. He's going to make it 2 from 2 if he's careful. He's got that gap from, of course, Pokovic. Pokovic's under threat from Noah's Toyota. The Alpha and Toyota raging their battle from race number 1, where Darren ultimately got 3rd that time round. But Darren's got that Honda now away from Scott Dalby's Nissan Primera. The Honda driver got that 5th place. Gareth Morris, however, in that Audi A4 alongside Scott Dalby's Nissan. He's going to try and get it. Oh, what a fantastic battle for 6th place. Gareth Morris, top of the draw. Gets a 6th place from Scott Dalby's Nissan Primera. With Scott thinking he should have started on the mediums before. But I tell you what, it's been a fantastic night of racing. I can't believe that 3 wide down the front straight. Noah is still trying to catch up to Pokovic's Alpha, the Toyota driver, trying to see his 0.4 of a second. It seems to push on the Alpha, trying to push on. He's got Pokovic thereabouts. So the guys that were on the mediums, the early stages of the race now on the Super Softs. Maybe the Super Softs playing to a good advantage at the moment though, as Daniel starts lap 18 then out of 22, so around 4 laps to go. This is going to be unstoppable. Pokovic trying to break the toe from Noah's Toyota, the Alpha trying to push away, but Noah's got that seems to be pushing. Seems likely though what we've got here. Noah's trying to push that Alpha into a mistake. He's got that Toyota right up close and personal now. This is going to be very close. But Noah's got that Alpha trying to, you know, like I say, he's trying to get that Alpha into a mistake. Seems to be quite a bit. I'll tell you what, he's almost alongside the Alpha, the Toyota trying to push on. It's going to be, the crowd are going wild, you can just about hear them, and this is why this racing is unstoppable. I'll tell you what, Noah has got to be careful, because if Pokovic gets forced into a mistake, it might be his game, but then Pokovic will fire that Alpha back where he wants it. Like, you've got the Alpha in 2nd place, you know, it's kind of seems to be a bit of a battle. We'll see what's going on further back in a minute. But I'll tell you what, Darren's still in 5th place, then Gareth Morris 6th place for Audi at the moment, probably unstoppable. Scott in 7th, being closely chased now by Craig's Peugeot. Craig's got that Peugeot slowing down a bit, but the battle for 2nd still raging on between Pokovic and of course Noah, going into the final corner to start another lap. So 3 laps to go in this race. It's going to be very close between the pair of them. This is absolutely unstoppable, but it looks like Dean Atkinson's had a bit of an issue in his Nissan Primera. It's a bit unfortunate for him, so we'll see exactly what's going to happen. But Pokovic still trying to get that Alpha, still pushing that Alpha all the way. He's got Noah's Toyota trying to chase him down, so Dean Atkinson's Primera's had an issue by the sounds of it. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be very close between these two for 2nd place. Noah's got that Toyota working very well. Pokovic gets a bit sideways. you can just about see that the Alpha driver trying to defend from the Toyota trying to push away from, or trying to push that Alpha, and as I say, he's trying to push the Alpha driver into a mistake. Pokovic, oh, he's breaking down the hill. Maybe he's got it there, but you can just see how much it means to him to try and defend like mad for second place. You know, the battle for third in race number 1 was fantastic. Even the battle now for at least around about second place, but at the moment then it looks like Scott Dalby and of course Craig Thomas are having a bit of a battle. We'll try and join that battle for third in a moment or two, but Craig's got past the dynamics. Primera, the 406 seems to have a bit more power, has a bit more legs, because Scott Dalby's racing mediums seem to be a bit worse for wear, but they're not as worse for wear as Craig's 406 racing super softs. But the battle for second is raging. Could be a battle, it could be a three-car battle in a minute, because Panos is gaining on these guys with great speed as well, with 2 laps to go in the race. Seems Pokovic and Noah, these guys are having a bit of a nice battle. It seems they've had a very good battle in race number 1 in the sprint race. Noah's trying to equally try and catching up that Alpha now. That Alpha Scott Dalby into pit lane. Has there been an issue with the Primera, the Dynamics Primera into pit lane? Is this something we don't know? But at the moment Noah's trying to push that Alpha all the way, trying to push that Alpha into a mistake. But what's this? Panos is getting closer and closer to this battle. Could be a 3-car battle for second any moment, but Noah's coming on the attack. But Pokovic goes to that inside line. Oh my goodness, what are we seeing here tonight, guys? This is absolutely unstoppable. You've got Pokovic in the Alpha, followed by Panos' DC Laguna, trying to spoil the symmetry. Noah's trying to push on. That Toyota wants to push that Alpha into a mistake. He can't. Panos has got that DC Laguna almost alongside the Toyota. This is going to be tooth and nail as we go on to the penultimate lap. This is allowing Daniel to escape up in the lead though. However, this is gonna be close as you like. We'll see exactly what is gonna happen, but between Pokovic and Noah now, Noah's got to be careful. Pokovic is escaping. Noah gets a bit sideways out of that chicane. That's allowed Panos alongside him. It's going to be too wide, but Panos gets third place from Noah at the moment. But you can just see that Toyota versus the Laguna. It's going to be very close. Pokovic also in second. We're on the penultimate lap of the race then. Penultimate lap of the feature race. This is where it's going to be very close. It looks like now the second, third and fourth could be having another great battle. I'll tell you what, it's been unstoppable this evening. I cannot believe what I have seen. And I'll tell you this, it is going to be great. Pokovic trying to escape from the DC Cut Laguna at the moment of Panos. Panos has got it dialed up. He's got that Laguna alongside Pokovic's Alpha. Oh, this is going to be close. Oh, they have a bit of a touch. Panos gives him a bit of a kiss and says, all right, mate, let's go. But Noah's on the attack as well. Oh, my goodness. This is going to be great. This is fantastic. But that's allowing Panos is trying to put Pokovic's Alpha under threat and trying to make him make a mistake, but then that's going to allow Noah's Toyota Carina into this battle. Panos gets through just about on the Alpha, but the Alpha's not giving up as well. Pokovic is trying to push that Alpha back up to that Laguna. This is absolutely unstoppable and probably closest battles galore. It's going to be madness, I tell you. What is going on tonight? The racing has been top draw and it has been top of the class. But I tell you what, Daniel's onto the final lap. He's got that gap. He's got that 12.7 gap from the battle for second. My battle for second could be hotting up for the last lap. Then it looks like at the moment though, Pokovic's almost out of fuel. You can just see the fuel light just come on thereabouts. He's trying to get second. Oh, this is going to be unstoppable. Pokovic with that fuel light on. Noah's also there with Panos. Oh my goodness, there could be 3 cars battling for second. Panos, oh, he's got past Pokovic, but he's got to be careful because Noah's thereabouts. The Toyota versus the Renault, the Alpha. Oh my goodness. These guys are trying to make me lose my voice as per usual. Panos holds on for second, Noah in third then. But Pokovic's Alpha, you can just see that Alpha. Oh, the Alpha, the red Alfa Romeo versus the Toyota. They're trying to push on as well. We'll see exactly what's going on further back. But I'll tell you what, the battle for third's it's not letting go, is it? It's been fantastic. Noah gets back through on Pokovic. Pokovic, you can just see that fuel line there. Looks like at the moment Daniel's pushing away into the race lead. He's like, we'll try and join that battle for second. Oh, there's a bit of contact between Noah and of course Pokovic. Bit of argy-bargy between the pair of them, but I'll tell you what, it's been clean between the pair of them. But Daniel's coming through the last half of the track now, coming through the final corner. He is about to take 2 from 2 here at Autopolis. Flashes the lights with the light. He will be delighted. Oh, Pokovic and Noah. Oh, what has happened there? Has that got a bit rough, it seemed. Let's have a look. But Panos will finish second. Pokovic goes on that side. He goes on the defensive line. He's trying to get third place. Yeah, it looked like a bit of side by side, but Pokovic will take third with Noah fourth, Darren fifth. Gareth Morris, however, sixth place in the Audi A4. What a stellar drive by Gareth with all that weight. Craig Thomas in seventh then for Peugeot. Not a happy evening for him. Scott Dalby in the Team Dynamics Primera. It's going to be very close to see exactly what's happened, but you know, maybe the Team Dynamics Primera's had a bit of an issue tonight that we don't know about, but never mind. But he will come home in 8th place, a bit more points, but it's going to be a bit hard. Lee Fitzy in the 9th place then, in the Ford Mondeo, trying to push on. I tell you what an absolute evening of racing. It has been fantastic to see, with Lee Fitzy coming home in 9th then, to see how well he does. Adam Morgan then in the Arena Motorsport Laguna in 10th place. Seems to be a bit of a shame for him. He probably didn't help getting shoved into the wall, but he will finish 10th place. I'll tell you what, guys, what a stellar race. But Daniel takes 2 from 2 this evening. He is unstoppable, and it seems, you know, he gets the fastest lap as well, so he gets this is exactly what I was on about tonight. You know, that was absolutely unreal. So I'm going to get the race results very quickly, go through them. Excuse me, I feel like my voice is gone again. So Daniel takes another deserved victory in the Mint Motorsport Vauxhall Cavalier. What an absolute drive by him this evening, taking 2 from 2. Panos in the DC Laguna in second. That battle for second was absolutely top draw as well. Pokovic and Noah, the Alpha, just gets the advantage of the Toyota in third and fourth. Darren in the Honda Accord in fifth. Seems to be had a good night of racing. That's good solid points for Darren. Gareth Morris, the heaviest Audi out there, as the field 6th place at the time. Craig Thomas in the Peugeot 406 in 7th, followed by Scott Dalby's Team Dynamics Nissan Primera. Lee Fitzy's Rapid Fit Ford Mondeo in 9th, followed by Adam Morgan's Arena Motorsport Renault Laguna. Sadly, we lost Dean Atkinson's Nissan Primera. So, sounds like a bit of electrical, maybe a bit of a weird issue for him in the Primera. He didn't finish, unfortunately, and Brian Moncani did not start in the BMW. Fastest lap went to Daniel on lap number 12 with 144.5. And I'll tell you what, guys, we are looking forward to seeing what happens next week for the championship, when it is the final round of the Chell Lawman Motorsport British Touring Cars. I'm gonna just double check where we are next week, because I have no idea. I can't even remember. It is going to be very close, I'll tell you what. Let's have a look. BTCC. We're at Dragon Trail Gardens. That is going to be a nail-biting finish to the championship. And I'm looking forward to seeing what is going to happen, because, you know, it is the final round of the championship. Who is going to lead the championship and who is going to win the championship? What an absolute stellar night of racing. If it's anything like tonight, it's going to go down to the wire, I am sure. So until next week, guys, I have been Hoppers for Eldar Racing for the Chell Lawman British Touring Car Championship. It is going to be a nail-biting, close proximity night of racing at Dragon Trails. And I'll tell you what, I'm speechless. I've witnessed some astounding races. I will see you Friday for WSTC, but until then, guys, take care and have a good rest of the week. I'll see you Friday. Ta-ra.